Hi guys, welcome back to Disloyal Order. My name is Rosie and today is Wednesday. So in my last Wednesday reaction, we looked at Cujo Beatdown and the video that preempted it that talked about all this beef with Cujo Beats and the issues that Ren had creating Sick Boy. And a lot of people in the comments on that said I need to check out Money Ties next. It was kind of split 50-50. Apparently Ren's released some new music that I definitely need to get into, but I think Money Ties just won on the amount of people who wanted me to react to it, because if I'm remembering correctly, please prove me wrong, there was another guy who also had issues with Cujo, and this is a song that they've worked together on, ? As always, let me know what I need to check out after Money Ties next Wednesday. And I also wanted to thank a lot of you for your help with the monetization issues I was having. It was actually really easy to find and I was being silly. That being said, I mostly do reactions just for the love of the game. I do not get paid really for any of the videos I put out in this channel, whether it's my reactions or the podcast or commentary videos. So if you do want to help me out and make sure this channel can keep running, then there is a Ko-Fi link in the description where you can request any reaction you like for any song or any album and I will listen to it. There's not much more left to say. This is Ren Money Ties. If you don't know me, I'm a music journalist and critic and you can find my website Disloyal Order linked down below. 3, 2, 1.
Godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world. But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the path and pierced themselves with the many pangs of greed.
Money makes the world go round. Money makes a pure man lawless, proud. Money makes a man's verb consummate the noun. Cause an action to a thing is inspired by the pound or the dollar. False prophet, preach profit and we follow. When the scholar teach dishonor, that's a bit the pill to swallow. The biggest bank robber are the banks and the politicians, but judiciary are whores, what a shock. When we lose sight of live and let live, forget your soul is made much richer by the love that you give. If you're living just to make a living, that's all that is. And when you're lying, slowly dying, well you die with a grin. Now digging up the root of evil, money too like a blade. You can slice across the jugular or carve and create. But when the money ain't the means, but the means is the money, you start to compromise ideals for dollars, morals get bloody. Now let me tell you a little story about a boy named Ren. Born March 1990 in the Celtic Welsh ends. We didn't have much, but mum and dad, they made enough to put hot meals on the table, fill our bellies full of love. A little sister fell into the picture. Oh my God, we loved her, made our family richer. Then we both got older, world a little colder. Life it had a way of chipping away at that shoulder. I held her and I told her, hierarchy, status exists. Sometimes the purity of youth gets snatched, leaving you stripped. You'll learn that love is not enough, it's not a world for a kid. So toughen up and buckle up, because it's bumpy as shit. And there'll be those who take advantage of the light in your soul. And there'll be times you feel the cup you're filling leaking with holes. And that dark can get much darker, we all must grow old. But listen up my little sister, hold these words to your close. Keep that kind heart kind, humankind are in need. Never ever let this world make you bitter like me. Because this world needs love, and love it leaks from you, see. Sis, this world needs light, and you're the brightest I see. I see your wings have feather more than ever. Mine were torn by my oppressor. Sickness scorned me, but whatever. By your side we fly together. Give me flight when I could never. A releasing of the pressure, and the pressure makes a diamond. I will shine with you forever. Fuck greed, fuck depression, fuck bullies, fuck the jealous. Fuck every man who made you feel less than a treasure. And fuck a world that makes us feel small. Fuck the forces that divide us. Now's the time to stand tall, because money makes the world go round. Money makes the sick boy sicker somehow. Money gets a man mug punched in his mouth. Money run the gang thug, drug money plow. Money makes open case close. Money bend up, make war, make ghosts. Money gives a poor man hope. Money saves lives, takes lives, money both. Money is, money isn't, money's just that. Money's just a concept, people are trying. Tax up the poor man, feed up the fire. Money's just cash. Take money, take money, take money, take. Fake money, fake money, fake money, fake. Money ties, money ties, money ties, ayy. Money lies, money lies, money lies, ayy.
Okay. I mean, yeah, right? I feel like, oh, wait, we're not fully done. Let me give it a second. No people, no profit. Whoa. Okay. Let's get into some of these lyrics, actually. I mean, this is very, like, classic with the kind of messaging Ren usually does, right? But we'll look at it anyway. We'll have a discuss. Okay, so we had this monologue. I don't know who it was spoken by, but then later we get introduced to his sister. So I wonder if this, like, is his sister, or maybe it's, like, meant to be his sister. Let's see what someone else said about it. It's a quote from the Bible, 1 Timothy 6:6-10, on the evils of greed and the benefits of being happy once one has enough to survive. Yeah, I mean, it's like, there's like a saying that money doesn't make you happier, right? And if anything, I think too much money, like an abundance, could, you like lose kind of a sense of purpose and like a will to like do anything. And then let's get into the song. So, money makes the world go round, another classic saying. We'll see what someone said about it. It's a phrase saying that money is the most essential thing, and it is the one thing that, without, would cause the fall of the world. Well, yes. This reflects on the song saying that in this age without money, even for those who don't want or have money, need it to survive. Yeah, I mean, especially like, when did Money Ties come out? This video came out in 2024, so yeah, like peak. I mean, we're still in peak, like cost of living crisis, global financial crisis, like global debt. It's all just kind of becoming more expensive just to like live, right? This I don't understand. Money makes a man's verb consummate the noun. Let's see what someone said. Money can push people to turn their intentions, verbs, into actions, nouns. Ooh, okay. Money drives people to act on their desires and thoughts. These actions can be selfish or harmful. The line highlights how wealth and power can corrupt people in their judgment, leading to prioritise personal gain over others. Right, and I think there's like a line on this, right? There's a saying that's like, God, what is the saying? It's like, one day or day one? Like, do you do it today? Or do you just think about it, right? And I think that's generally like a good thing to live by on like a lot of things, not necessarily just like money or working or like doing the grind, but also like people can definitely push it too far. And it is like a general theme that people with a lot of money, and by a lot of money I mean like billionaires, do not get it ethically, right? You have to have some sort of taking advantage of people below you, taking advantage of a system, whether that be like tax evasion or, I don't know, some sketchy like workers' laws in different countries if you outsource your production somewhere. Yeah, there's definitely a way where like I think you get to a point when you're making money where like you only make money for the people below you. And we're talking about billionaires, but on a smaller scale, like if you own a business, and this is a controversial opinion apparently, if you own a business, a lot of businesses, especially small to mid-sized businesses, will have, you know, handful of employees or maybe one office floor of employees, and these employees will put in so much effort, so much work to improve their status within the company, to get a pay rise, to get promoted, also just to see the company like continue to grow. And a lot of time the owners of these companies definitely, especially the smaller ones, do have to put in the grind as well, but they kind of just like pay these people to do the work for them, and reap so much more of a reward than the salary that they're paying down, right? And that is, I mean, that's how you make money, right? But it's not right in a way that we're looking like socially at the relationships you have with people in your life. False prophet preach profit and we follow. So I don't know what a false prophet might be saying. I mean, my mind's going to like, I think especially in the last few years, we've gotten in this really scary like surgence of these like male podcasts, right? And it's a lot of men with like Lamborghinis and a beautiful woman and living in Miami, Florida, that are saying like, oh, you need to do the grind, you need to put in the work, this is what you need to do to make money like me, you have to make money like me. And a lot of like young teenage boys especially are, and like even pre-teenage, are like watching clips of this on TikTok without a lot of context with it, like not watching a full episode, and then are kind of getting that mindset, feeling like they are not doing enough when they're like 16 years old, and it's like slow, right? And a lot of these people with these podcasts where they talk about being rich, like rent their designer clothes, rent out a car for a few hours to take pictures with, rent out an Airbnb to take social media photos in. Like, it's not as real as you think it is, and they're just kind of like churning out this content just to make you feel bad and then making money off of you feeling bad. And they always say, like, if anyone hasn't watched it, the Inside the Manosphere documentary by Louis Theroux, I think it's really interesting. It talks a lot on like misogyny, but also on this whole money aspect. It's on Netflix. I mean, it's massive, but if you haven't watched it, please, like, go watch it. It's great. There was a guy that was speaking about, I can't remember what it's called. There's a word in this kind of manosphere vocabulary. It's like the Matrix, right? So they talk about this matrix. It's like all the people at the top don't want you making money. And listen, totally, 1000% agree. So they're like, we're the people that are selling these courses to like teenagers and young adults so that they can learn to make money, because the people that are making money don't want you to make money, without the kind of foresight that they're the people that are at the top that are selling people something and making money. And why would they want to teach you how to make the money that they would otherwise be getting? They're not in it for the right reasons, right? Anyway, I went on a bit of a tangent, but also I saw a tweet the other day so that someone was like, oh, I'm 17 and I still live with my parents. And it's like, well, yes, right? Of course you do. And I can't believe that we've like made this like narrative that these teenagers have to be like, I mean, totally work at 17, right? But like moving out and paying a crap ton for rent and your council tax and everything. I think it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I moved out at 19. I would have moved out at 18 if it wasn't for lockdown in 2020. And like, it's been hard and expensive. And I always think like, well, maybe I could have saved more if I lived with my parents, but I liked the independence. So, but yeah, this kind of expectation that you have to like have all your shit together, I think is really driven by social media. And it all comes back to these like finance bro videos that we're seeing. And then the biggest bank robber are the banks and politicians, but the judiciary are whores. What a shocker. And he's spoken about this before. I think it was in Vincent's Tale, the last one, where he was like, you know, everyone's a whore for something, right? And the biggest bank robber are the banks and the politicians. So yeah, I think this is like tax evasion. A lot of politicians, I know there's been a lot of talk in UK politics at the moment about expenses being written off. There was some with Zach Polanski, there was some with a reform councillor or MP, I can't remember, maybe councillor, and also Keir Starmer. But also it's been a thing that every politician's done, where it's like they're expensing stuff that is coming out of taxpayer money that definitely shouldn't be expensed, or they're receiving donations that aren't declared, or all this is going on, which is kind of robbing like the National Bank of tax. And then the biggest bank robber is the banks. I don't have much to say on that, but there's a book called Too Big to Fail, right, about the 2008 financial crisis, that is kind of like where my mind's going with that. When we lose sight of live and let live, forget your soul is made much richer by the love that you give. Yeah, I mean, there's a, you know, becoming rich because of the people you surround you with. Like, a lot of people tend to grind too hard. I think I've spoken about this in a REM reaction before, where you know, people are working so hard that they're, you know, not seeing their family, not making time to see their friends. They're kind of losing these relationships, dropping off like flies. And, you know, yes, you have everything you could ever want. You might have like a beautiful partner, and you go on like 3 holidays a year, and you drive a nice car, and you have a lovely house, but like, who to share it with? And then if you're living just to make a living, that's all there is. So if you're living just enough to like scrape by, you know, you can eat, you can pay your rent, you can maybe go out for a drink here and there, then all there is to live. So you have to put all of that time and all of that energy into like keeping your lasting relationships and keep the living worth living, because that's all you have to do. And when you're lying slowly dying, will you die with a grin? So going back to like, who's going to be there in your big mansion, right? At the end of your life, when you're about to die, could you look back at your life and been like, I had the most luscious, lovely like home, and you know, I went and saw all these countries, but like, are you there all on your own in a hospital bed, like dying, and being like, I actually spent my time with no one, like I had all this nice stuff and like now it's gone. Yeah, I always think about that. I would never want to like be on my deathbed making regrets, and I think one of the worst regrets you can make is being like, I spent too much time on myself and not on others, right? So digging up the root of evil, money tool like a blade, you can slice across a jugular or carve and create. So using money to like, slice across a jugular, like it's a really violent murder, or you can like use it as a way to just like make the world better, like make yourself better, kill off the competition, or like make a community. Do you know what I mean? Am I making sense? Kind of. But when the money ain't the means, but the means is the money. So this is going to like the philosophical like idea of like having a means to an end. So if your money is a means to an end, then you're kind of like investing money into, like I do with this YouTube channel, I put more money into this than I earn from it, right? So buying all the equipment, my time, software, loads of stuff, the design work that I've done, the website, I put way more money into this than I get from it, because the money I put in is a means to create this platform where like we can all hang out. I get to talk about music, I get to interview some really cool bands and then get them out to the world and then hopefully push their career. The means is to create the community within music. The money is just the way I get there. But if your money is the means, it's like, if your money's the end and not the means, then it's like, what do you do to get to your end? What's the means to the end? And the means is usually taking advantage of people. And that's when the morals get bloody. And then he's going like specifically into his story, tell you a story about a boy named Ren. Oh, interesting. Someone said this line is a reference to Money Game Part 3, where Ren opens the song with the words, let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. Sure. And he is talking about like having this conversation with his sister. Sometimes the purity of youth gets snatched, leaving you stripped. You'll learn that love is not enough. It's not a world for kids, or for a kid. I mean, yeah, I think when you're a child, you have so much like the childlike whimsy that you can keep, where it's like you see the best in everyone, you assume the best in people. And I think a lot of people, a majority of people, if not everyone, kind of grow up and like seeing the best of people only gets you taken advantage of, puts you in dangerous situations. Like you have to be a bit skeptical of everyone and their priorities and like what they're doing, especially in work, right? I think if you're too nice in the workplace, then your time and your workload and your energy just gets taken advantage of constantly, and you can't reap any reward for that. And by reward, like, yes, I'm talking about like a pay rise, but also like paid time off, staff benefits, even just like a promotion, like. And I really like this line, that there'll be times you feel the cup you're filling leaking with holes. And I'm kind of getting like two like images in my head. One of like a glass half full, glass half empty kind of metaphor going on here. So if it's the cup you're filling, it's like his sister is a glass half full person because she's filling it, right? But also at the same time it is leaking, so it is getting half empty, despite her putting so much effort into seeing something glass half full. In reality, it's getting glass half empty. And also the idea of like a cup leaking with holes. I can see like holes in a cup and just someone like desperately trying to like cover each hole. And I think it's like you're putting out so many fires in your life, especially right now. It's like, holy shit, rent. Holy shit, childcare. Holy shit, job. Oh my God, I need to see my friends. Oh my God, I need to care for my family. Oh my God. And it's like, at what point are you just like like you've got too much on your plate, right? You're trying to like to put out all these fires and patch all these holes, and it's getting so overwhelming. You're trying to keep all this water in this cup that you're not even thinking about what you're going to do with that cup now that you have the water. Like the water's there, you've got it, you're covering it all, or you're too focused on covering those holes to be able to even take advantage of what's in it. And then he said, because this world needs love and love it leaks from you. So now I'm seeing like the water is the love and his sister is the cup, right? And in this he's saying like keep that kind heart kind, humankind are in need. Now he's the one patching up the holes because the love is leaking from her, and he's like, keep it in you. So all of a sudden, like, she's filling up the cup, and now she is the cup, and the love is the water, and Ren is the one desperately trying to just like hold that all in with this verse. Interesting. So then it says, money makes a sick boy sicker somehow. Someone said the full line might be in reference to how even though Ren is finding success, he's still battling his illness to some extent more, and the pursuit of his career might be putting a strain on his health. Totally. And then someone said this is a reference to the song Sick Boy, of course, and also the song Cujo Beatdown, where Ren highlights the fact that Cujo beats the people who cancel Sick Boy probably did it for profit. So yeah, this is kind of like a more gentle part 2 to the Cujo Beatdown. It's like that I know did like awful bits on his mental health. I can't imagine his physical health was great for it. He was trying to recover from some treatment he went to Canada for, and was just having all this shit that he had to deal with. So yeah, I mean, they totally are trying to do it for profit. Cujo Beats was definitely in the wrong legally. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch that reaction. Yeah, fuck. And then money is, money isn't, money's just that, money's just a concept people attract. Yeah, I mean, money's like not a real thing, right? It's just, it might be the most socially acceptable social concept that we've all just like agreed to partake in. We're like, oh, and I think it's going back to like when we had coins. I mean, we still have coins, like when people used coins, the like a pound coin or a pound piece would be worth a pound. Like you could melt that down and sell the metal and it would be worth a pound, and now it's not worth that, and we've all just kind of accepted that like we're given something that's just like, this is how much it is, and we're like, yeah, okay, which is kind of mad if you deep it. I'm gonna try not to deep it. And then back to like just the last line we had on this screen, no people, no profit. So no people, no profit. I mean, the obvious like auditory kind of meaning we're getting from this is that if you don't have the people working and the people doing the actual labor, then the people on top aren't making the profit. And I think that's kind of like Ren's incentive to be like, you need to treat workers nicer, treat employees nicer. They are the people that are like the foundation of business. But then with the way you're reading it, no people, no profit, it's like no profit. I don't know. You guys might need to tell me what you think in the comments. So what did you think of Money Ties? I'm sure you all love it because I got so many recommendations. And please let me know what I need to react to next Wednesday. And also clear up any lines that I missed or that you might disagree with, or any points that you found interesting that I made. You can also follow us at Disloyal Order Online on Instagram and Disloyal Order on TikTok. And if you'd like to follow me, I'm Rosie Miranda Rivers on Instagram and TikTok, and you can come see what I'm up to. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.